Hi everyone and welcome back to 5 Minute Family Search. So here we are in Find a Record. I am just going to scroll down on the side here. I want to look at these boxes. So we've already talked about sources, person, relationships, and problems. And now what we're going to do is do cleanup. And that is exactly what it sounds like. We are going to clean up our tree. So again, I click the drop down. I can come over here and click everything. And see, they say it takes 3 minutes to generate a list. It's like 2 seconds. I love this program. I think it's so amazing. I'm going to go ahead and take that off though, and we're going to go through these one by one. So you can see the cleanup that needs to be done. So identical names, many alternate names, multiple marriage facts, incorrect alternate name format. This is getting into standardizing birth date, birthplace, death place, marriage place, and unusual characters in a name. I didn't find any. I've been trying to find unusual characters and I haven't been able to do that yet. But standardizing, what that means is there is probably, the information is probably already in the record, but the computer is not recognizing it because it was typed in incorrectly, or when they did a merge from new family search to family search, the computers didn't talk correctly, and so that information didn't get transferred correctly. And so there's a lot of standardizing that needs to be done in the records, but like I said, the information is probably already there. So again, I can do all of them, and I'm going to come up with all of these, and then we're going to narrow it down. But here, identical names, what this means, if I come, I'm going to go to my grandfather. So here's my grandpa Albert. We've talked about him a lot in the previous videos. I'm going to click details. And here, same information we've talked about in the other videos, but down here under identical names, it says this person has names which differ only by capitalization or punctuation. It is not necessary to document all of the different ways a name could be capitalized or punctuated. So I would need to go into his record and just see what was wrong. So maybe like Gustav in one record was capitalized, but in another part it's not. And so it's confusing the computer. So I would just want to go in and fix that. And to do that, I would just come up here and touch on this green icon and it would take me into his record. So I'm going to come back out to find a record. And what I would like to show you, I'm going to take off all of these cleanup and I'm going to come down to standardize a birth date. And when I do, I'm going to come over here to my fourth great grandfather, Donald McDougall, and I'm going to click on details. So I'm going to go into his record, which I would do by clicking on this. First, though, we're going to talk about this, standardizing a birth date. So it says his birth date is 1800 and it hasn't been standardized. Standardization ensures that everyone knows when this event took place. Because there are many date formats used across the world, it may not always be obvious what the date actually is. Take 3/11/2000 for example. Is this March 11, 2000 or November 3, 2000? By standardizing the date, we can avoid the confusion. So it's actually really good. It does make things very definite so you understand. So I would click here. I have already done that because my computer today is slow. So I'm just going to go straight to his record. So I already know it's a problem because I talked about these in the Family Search video series. It's missing a standardized birth date. And so I have come over here and I just did that by clicking on this button right here, this vital information, and it showed me that his date of birth was wrong. So it's not wrong, it just needs to be standardized. So I can say click here to select a date. I'm going to come down here and click 1800 and now it is standardized. I come down here and click save and now the problem has been taken care of. So when I go back to find a record, I can come over here and I'm on him, on Donald, and I'm going to say it's been fixed. And so now he has been removed from my list. So let's do that one more time. So we're going to go to my third great grandfather. We're going to standardize his birth date. We're going to go into details. We're going to go to him and we'll see how quickly my computer can work with us. Like I said, it's been a little slow. But we're going to do the same thing for him. We're going to go into his vitals. We're going to look at the date that he was born and we're going to go through and we're going to standardize that. I am so sorry. I do not know what is slowing down my computer today. So I'm going to come down here to his vital information and I see his birth is 1844. Again, there is this box here telling me that it's missing a standardized birth date. So I'm going to come down and I'm going to click on that date, and I had done that in the previous screen, so that's why you didn't see that. So now we can do this together, and that's why I wanted to do another one. I'm going to click 1844. I'm going to come over here to edit. I'm going to click there. And now it says no standard selected. Click here to select a date. And like I said, I'd already done this in the previous screen. So I'm going to click there. And when I do, it brings this up right here, 1844. It looks the same, but for some reason it's not recognizing it. So I click 1844. I click Save. That goes away. I know that the problem has been fixed. I come back to Find a Record. I come up here, I click Fixed, and now it's done. And that's how easy it is to take care of any of those standardizations, whether it's a date or a place or anything like that. But that is how you do cleanup in your family tree. And again, if you want to work on all of them at the same time, you can just click there and it will generate a huge list, hopefully not, but probably so, a huge list of information that you can go in and start doing cleanup for.